Thank you so much, all of you. I was here today morning for the inaugural session, and we spoke about, of course, the necessity, and necessity derived out of the fact that India is, in a way, the biggest victim of problems to do with sanitation, swachhta, lack of swachhta, to say the least. He also gave example of actually it's just not it's just not a slogan. It has the power of bringing about a major cultural shift in the entire nation if we were to follow it. And it cannot be executed just by one single person. It has to be done by a collective effort, a people's movement. So it is, in a way, one of the most difficult things to do, and perhaps that's why nobody's even ever dared to come onto this stretch of land and say, I will do it, or let's do it, or let this be a benchmark for my work. It's too daring a thing to do. It is also extremely daring for someone who's aspiring to be a prime minister to say that there should be toilets before temples. And to that extent, I think this is one of the best times for India, where we have a decisive leadership, a decisive person, who has stepped out, stuck his neck out to say some of these things and to set up very high benchmarks. Now, to create this cultural shift, to create this people's movement, there's a convergence of different stakeholders that is required. Government being one of them, certainly. But corporates, another. NGOs, social leaders, religious leaders, spiritual leaders, families, children. When we just walked in, there was this song which was playing, perhaps. You may not have paid attention to the words. It was about Swachhta. And there were children's voices in that. The convergence of all these people, driven by the media, as the topic of the discussion today, driven by the media, perhaps has the potential of bringing out this major cultural shift in our nation. It's just not the fact that if we are a clean India, we would be a more attractive tourist destination. It's just not that, but the fact that a clean India, a healthy India, would perhaps enhance the sheer potential of Indian youth to work harder, and thereby adding to the economy millions and millions of dollars by their productiveness, which otherwise right now are going down the drain because of the effort required to overcome various epidemics that break out in various parts of the country. In specific to media and how in the information broadcasting we are driving it, is the fact that we're playing regular social awareness campaigns on Doordarshan, which is a national channel, as well as on All India Radio, which has 92% reach of the entire country. We are also engaging the social media by means of WhatsApps and Facebooks, Twitter, and trying to create a 360-degree communication methodology of engaging with everyone. To the extent that now the corporate sector, in its advertisements, is also talking about cleanliness. And once the schools, and we're targeting the children so that once the schools start talking about it, then we are sure that in the next couple of years, let's say about 5 to 10 years, we would certainly be a clean India. The Prime Minister's Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas gives centrality to the communication and the fact that we take everyone along. So there's no one left out. We know that India is still in the rural segments divided into castes. And therefore, it's of utmost importance that you carry along with you each and every segment. And then when you take a decision at the village level, at the panchayat level, the very fact that Sabka Saath is an essentiality which is going to create Sabka Vikas, which is the objective, ensures that the Sarpanch there calls every stakeholder from every segment of the village to create a movement. Also, it's important for something to have a great recall value, it's important that it keeps playing in your mind again and again. And that's why most of the social awareness programs, for whatever reason be it, has a mild introduction to Swachhta, to cleanliness. So you will hear the Swachhta again and again in different campaigns of the government, in different advertisements. Say, for example, the Good Governance Day also had Swachhta, a small slogan of Swachhta right below. The idea was that we keep appealing to your mind, we keep appearing in front of the citizens of the country so that we remain in their mind space all the time. And if something is repeated over and over again, then that sort of starts becoming a part of your subconscious and becomes your nature itself. It's also important, which we are doing now, is to have success stories being given out in All India Radio and the Doordarshan. So we're picking up stories about people, how a single person in a small village has been able to change things. And those success models will create examples for others to follow. So this is how the media is, CJ, going to interact with a whole lot of people across the whole society and segment. And this is how the various stakeholders will come together to carry forward this movement of Swachhta. It cannot be done in a single day, a single year. But the very fact that by 2019, we've said that India would be a clean destination. Mm-hmm. So there has to be an objective, there has to be a timeline, and then you start working on a daily basis with full cylinders on fire.